Welcome back to America Right Now. The prospect of a rise in socialism in America is scaring a lot of Americans. A majority embracing these anti-American ideologies are young and don't understand what it's truly about. Our next guests are releasing a new documentary on socialism set to premiere right here on Newsmax Sunday night at 9 p.m. Joining us now, the executive producer of Socialism in America, Mandy Del Rio, and the executive producer and director, Jack Thomas Smith. Good to see you both.
Hey, Tom, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure. You know, we talk about this a lot, right? We have Bernie Sanders is a socialist. He is basically running the Democratic Party. We're starting to see government expansion dramatically. Why you produced this documentary? Why did you do it?
Well, you know, it's funny, Tom. The first point you made is that Bernie Sanders refers to himself as a socialist. Don't you love it? He lives here in America, makes a lot of money, owns a number of homes, but he's a socialist.
Right.
I mean, that to me is just outrageous, right? I mean, that's, you know, what is he, like a 78-year-old college student? I mean, come on, you know? So, you know, it's just outrageous. And that's kind of why we did this documentary. We want to kind of show the history of socialism. You know, and it's one of those, like, I get it with the millennials and Gen Z, if they're not being taught this in school.
That's right.
I get it. And that's up to us to teach them. And that's what we want to do with this documentary. But, you know, when I see someone like Bernie Sanders, I mean, come on, man, you're 78 years old. We shouldn't have to teach you this. Life experience should show you that socialism has never worked anywhere.
How do you respond to the folks who say, well, this is not really socialism here because we don't have government control of private industry and things like that? How do you respond to that when they say, well, it's not real socialism?
Well, I mean, you know, again, it's the same thing. It's, you know, well, I love how they try spinning this.
Right.
It's,
sure.
I mean, that's kind of, it's all a spin. Everything is double talk. I mean, we live in the greatest country in the world. We have private property ownership, private corporate ownership. We have safety nets for the less fortunate. And that's what makes our country great. You know, and they always try to cite Scandinavia. They're a mixed market economy.
Right.
It's honestly, we've seen this before. We've seen it for the past 100 years. All the false promises, all the, you know, oh, we're all going to be equal. Yeah, we're all going to be equal if socialism/communism takes over. We're all going to be equal in misery.
Exactly.
Mandy, let me ask you, talk to us about specifically how you march through this, because it sounds like it's very educational, and you've got some great sources, and you really delve into the history here, and you use facts to show that it doesn't work. Talk to us about that.
Exactly. Well, we did extensive research. You know, I knew a little bit about it, and Jack knows actually a lot about it. But we still had to do our research on it. And, you know, it's amazing how you have the world, you know, the World Wide Web at your fingertips, and anyone can look up this information. And it's amazing how many people don't use the internet to do that. And so, you know, we had to do extensive research for it. And it helped to talk to people who actually lived under it, under socialism and communism. I challenge anyone who is touting socialism and communism, especially coming to this country, to just sit down with our four guests who are from Cuba, Venezuela, China, and the you know, former Soviet Union, and then tell us what you think.
Yeah, you know, you're so right. The people just don't know. It's like all these young kids that like Che Guevara. They don't realize that the guy was a murderer and a bigot. You know, I tend to remember also what Khrushchev, I believe, said, that America's never going to be defeated from without. It's going to be defeated from within. And slowly over time, you're going to make changes and you're going to wake up and you're going to live in a socialist country. What you're doing with this documentary is helping to ensure that that doesn't happen to us. So Jack Smith and Mandy Del Rio, thank you so much. And you can watch Socialism in America this Sunday right here on Newsmax at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Tom.
Straight ahead, big talk out of China.